Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Cheap Dragon Show. My name is Frugal Max and I am the Cheap Dragon. And today, we have a special guest. What are you doing? You're supposed to wait in the wings.
I waited in a moment, but then I came up, just like how you said.
Okay, but I was going to introduce you. I was going to say we have a special guest today. We have a special guest today. And her name is...
Booba, booba,
Booba
booba.
Booba Booba. Good name for a small dragon, I guess. Anyway, on today's episode, we are going to do another exciting installment of Will They Bang? Alright, great. You know, sometimes when you are wasting the precious moments of your life, browsing the internet, looking at games and miniatures, sometimes you just see a deal and you have no idea what you'd use that thing for, but somebody's having a clearance sale and those miniatures used to go for $40 and now you can get them for $5 and somehow you end up with a big pile of crap in your basement that you don't know what you bought for. So, the Wrath of Kings game is a game that was made by the company CMON. It kind of is living in something of a tabletop game limbo right now. It's still on their website, but not for sale or something like that. Anyway, doesn't really matter. The point is, we got a bunch of those miniatures, really cheap, and we're going to see if we can stick them together with one of these Bones USA guys from Reaper. Let's have a look.
That's the head you want. We have a Reaper Bones USA guy. This guy is clearly a mutant of some sort. He's got kind of like claw fingers. He's got sort of wizard powers because he's controlling the gingerbread sack men, people with burlap sacks. But his head is so big, like comparing him to another human who's supposedly in the same scale, it's kind of crazy. So I thought, well, he's already a mutant. I'll just make him even more of a mutant by trying to see if this giant pig head here after this miniature will fit on. So now the question is, does Bones USA cut as easily as the old Reaper Bones stuff? So let's see. I like that hat.
Wow! Let's see that again! Okay, here we can see his feeble muscles straining against the small plastic toy until... POW! Right there, the head goes flying. It's like a modern day nerd guillotine.
Well, that went flying. Somewhere. So Reaper Bones USA, which is like a COcast-like stuff, I guess, does not cut quite as easily as Reaper Bones.
Okay, so now we have a pig head from the CMON miniature, and we want to stick it on that big body. And, oh wait, now the nose and ears are gone. It looks less piggy and more like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Or some other doughboy. Give that guy a nose, please. Yes, here it is, the green stuff. 2-part epoxy putty. I thought we would run into this stuff at some point today. There's nothing like a big hood to just cover up all of your mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nose, I guess.
So while I'm waiting for the green stuff on this guy to dry, and I had a little clump of it left over, I thought, well, what can I do with this dwarf or halfling-ish head here?
Okay, so we have the spare head, the spare square head, and we need a body. Where did our little helper go? Oh well.
And I remembered I have this old Citadel dwarf body here. Okay, this is from the old Fantasy Fighters or Fantasy Regiment set from probably the late 80s or early 90s. I remember seeing it in the stores, but I didn't actually get these guys until years later. For a while they were really cheap because better stuff had come out. And now they're probably really expensive.
Ah, good. A new beard for the dwarf.
Yes.
Dwarves, respectable dwarves have beards, I guess.
Yes.
So says many years of received fantasy wisdom.
Helpy hand.
Okay, so there we have a sort of alligator-faced mutant and a Yosemite Sam looking dwarf. Not bad. One planned kit bash and one unplanned.
Ah, we need a paint job on these miniatures.
Oh, yeah.
That's the product placement we were looking for. For any beginners out there, primer is a special paint that helps other paints stick to the miniature.
Alright, we're gonna work on these two conversions after some delay.
After some delay, that means after sitting at the back of the workbench for like a year and a half. Getting a little bit of color in there is not a bad thing.
Yes.
Okay, so at this point I've put the base coat colors on this conversion miniature, and I really only used, I think, 4 or 5 colors to cover the whole thing. Before building up highlights, I'm going to do the eyes, just because I tend to be messy with the eyes, and I find that if I've done the whole face and then I do the eyes, the odds are I'm going to screw up the face and have to do it again. So I'm going to do the eyes first, and then do the highlights on the face. So to do eyes, I go with the classic method taught to me by a pamphlet written by Mike McVeigh in the, I don't know, early 90s. Just start with black, and I make a mess. Somebody put a hood over this eye. Okay, so there's black in there now. Dot of white, or sort of a horizontal line on the black. There we go. Now we have white on the black spots. Okay, so then I'm going to switch to a very small point brush to try and get the pupils. And I get very little paint on there. And that one doesn't look quite as good, but close enough. Okay, so here we have our finished conversions. We have our Citadel Dwarf with the Reaper Bones USA head and green stuff beard and schnoz, and our mutant puppet master kind of guy with the CMON head with the nose job and the hood on the Reaper Bones USA body, and the 3 little minions of our Reaper Bones guy. These guys were just sort of conversions on a whim. I don't have anything to do with them right now, but they might inspire some game or adventure of their own.
Well, there you have it. Reaper Bones USA and some highly discounted miniatures from CMON, stuck together forever. And one ornery dwarf prospector ready to hunt rabbits or something. Anyway, until next time, if there is a next time.
Bye-bye.
I'm Frugal Max. Don't spend too much. Bye. What is this hand that's up here? Ah. Ah. We're trying to do a show. Hey, stop wrecking the castle.
I love wrecking castles.